Story extends. Uh, yeah. Names carved deep in the brick and stone. Every block legend built their throne. No crowns given, we take our claim. Every street corner still knows the name. Legends don't fade, they echo and still. Concrete remembers what the papers conceal. This is the anthem, the fire, the pledge. Stories of the block live on the edge. Names carved deep in the brick and stone. Every block legend built their throne. No crowns given, we take our claim. Every street corner still knows the name. Legends don't fade, they echo and still. Concrete remembers what the papers conceal. This is the anthem, the fire, the pledge. Stories of the block live on the edge. Footsteps heavy like drums on the pavement. History bleeds through abandoned basements. Every mural's a chapter, every crack's a scar. Legends written louder than the engines of cars. Eyes in the shadows, whispers in code. Respect is the language on this narrow road. Chains rush slowly, but the spirit won't break. Power in the silence and the moves we make. No statues raised, just candles and chalk. Every night sermon gets preached on the block. From dusk till dawn, the mist still ascends. Black legends never die, the story extends. Names carved deep in the brick and stone. Every black legend built their throne. No crowns given, we take our claim. Every street corner still knows the name. Legends don't fade, they echo and still. Concrete remembers what the papers conceal. This is the anthem, the fire, the pledge. Stories of the block live.
Good afternoon. Good evening, Room Shaker. Yes, y'all. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna stop it right here and now. I'm gonna take it back. Let me take it back for a second and
Story
pause
extends.
it. Let me take it back and pause it. I'm kind of confused right now. I really didn't want to do this live, but it seems like to me people here on YouTube love for a man or people to cuss people out and tear them down and do things to them on this. I I went up there yesterday. If a lot of people know, if you don't know, I went up there yesterday on the Miss O's to try to give some uplifting criticism to a young lady that everybody on here on YouTube. Good afternoon, Demont. That a young lady that everybody here on YouTube, they might like her. They might like her for one thing, and then the others hate her for other things. I just want to tell this young lady, and you know who I'm talking about, Uppity Goddess Negro. I just want to tell you something, dear. I realize that you're not all together upstairs. Your faculties or you living in a world of fantasy, as they say, but yet I try to respect you because you're a woman. I know, and I really didn't want to come out and curse you out or talk about you like a dog and, your teeth missing and all that. But what I have done, I have compiled some things that have been said about you even before the contest and during the contest, Uppity. You know, like that apron you had on yesterday, you know, somebody wrote in the chat, you need two aprons. But yet everybody loves you, right? Elephant hands, 30 already. See, Uppity, I've never talked about your hands. I never talked about your feet. I never talked about even your living conditions, Uppity. But then you want to come up in here and try to dog me out because you like a man that really doesn't give a flying fuck about you. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna put it up there. Hey, good evening, Uncle Claude. I don't know. I don't know what to say about this, but I'm just gonna say it. I'm just tired of motherfuckers thinking because I'm old and I don't have any sense. They think I'm another ZX. I'm not ZX. That's another thing. I'm not ZX. I don't worship motherfuckers that come on here and curse women out and say all the foul and disgusting things they say to each other. And I also try to stay out of women's business when they're mad with each other and doing things to each other. But let's face it, up you had no business even entering that contest. You had no business even trying to cook anything because you're not prepared for that kind of life. You're not prepared to get out in the world and socialize with people. Yeah, you might go out and show you little videos of you walking around Harlem or New York or whatever it is, doing little things. But the rest of the time, you're on here running your goddamn mouth, talking crazy to people, talking about men and women. Let's not forget that with your tiny waist. Let me tell you something, Uppity. Your waist is about as tiny as a baby elephant, okay? Now, people, don't get me wrong, I'm trying to be nice, but then again, I'm just going to just let it all out. There's no fucking way in hell, Uppity, you are making $1,000 a week. There's no damn way that you got a man coming up there paying you anything, okay? Because with the looks that you got, and I tried to be nice to you about your looks before, but now they're beginning to become ugly. Ugly, dear. Your mouth is filthy. You stay drunk, and that worries me too about you being drunk all the goddamn time. You know, another thing that was written in the chat about you when you were pouring that goddamn cream. Well, I don't think that cream is really good. Any good? Was it? No, it didn't look good up because the shit came out in lumps. You didn't explain why the shit came out in lumps. You know. And then on top of that, you didn't measure it right. And yeah, people were talking about you not wearing gloves, which you should be wearing gloves. And then you did not, and I reiterate, you did not cook in a fucking kitchen. It looked to me like you were in your goddamn living room. Had something set up in your living room, maybe. Yeah, you probably did it on your dining room table. It did look spoiled. Hi, Grandma Love. I hate to go there with people, but now I'm getting to the age and time in my life where I don't give a fuck no more. When I try to respect you, you want to try to disgrace me and talk about me. Okay, uppity. Everybody doesn't like you on fucking YouTube. You might think that, but you're being used, child, because you're one brick shy of a full load. Okay, your speech, it doesn't match your train of thought at all. That's why I say you need to check yourself before you wreck yourself with me. Because I'm old enough. I'm old enough to know a damn fool when I see one, and you are one of the biggest damn fools here on the YouTube streets. You know, you lie about things. You say things that a lot of people know that you're delusional about, and they even put up with your ass for that. That contest, like I said, it was one sided, lopsided from the very fucking beginning. The comments were made. You need to wash your hands. Did I see you wash your hands? Fuck no. Did I hear you wash your hands? Hell no. I also went back and looked at how you was running around with your goddamn chicken with your head cut off. Good evening, Patty Mom. I just don't understand why people would really want to come on here and dog your ass out when they see that you're, like I said, you're one brick shy of a full fucking load, and you got enough problems as it is. But yet you want to get on here and be a YouTube star. You want to get on here and talk about people, including me. You talk about people's kids. You know, I just don't give a fuck no more. I just don't give a fuck. And I'm not trying to save. Hi, Mo Better. Thank you. I'm not trying to save your ass, uppity. Okay? I'm going to tell you, just like I'm going to tell anybody that fucks with me on here, bitch, fuck you and goodbye. Okay? because I'm not I'm not taking it anymore off you little decrepit ass, no tooth ass, bald head ass women that want to get on here and try to low rate a man, especially black men. You with your goddamn Jamaican men. A Jamaican man don't want you for any motherfucking thing, uppity. A Jamaican man wouldn't want they they don't even want to be seen with you out in public, let alone in the dark. Just don't fuck with me no more, uppity. You hear what I'm saying? Like you said, if I go on a platform and try to give you, like I said, you wasn't prepared. You're never prepared. That goddamn meat that you had up there, like people were saying, it looked like it was 3 days old. It didn't look fresh at all. Yeah, and then you cooking on motherfucking tumu, you using tumu utensils and all that shit that you get from God knows where you got it from, because the shit ain't new. You done cooked on that goddamn grill before. Yeah, she messed with me too. She messes with everybody. You know, Uppity ain't got no damn sense. That's all I'm gonna say about it. And I do feel sorry for her. I do feel sorry for her, but then again, I can't feel sorry for anybody that wants to come up here and talk about because I'm old and all this and that. Girl, if you live to get my age, and I hope you do, I hope your legs will be down. I hope you done lost that goddamn belly of yours. And I definitely hope you get your teeth fixed, okay? Okay. You left out of the you were going so much in that contest. I was wondering, did you really order your meals and have it shipped in? And you were trying to plate it up. And what damn fool would sit up there and smoke up her house so goddamn bad until the fire alarm goes off? Then you got a cigarette in your goddamn hand while you're preparing food. Girl, you a nasty ass motherfucker. I'm gonna say it. You nasty as hell. And you couldn't feed my goddamn dog if I had one. I'm just sick of you, uppity. Then you go on these little rants and raves. You talk too goddamn much for one thing. You never stop to hear your own goddamn sentence. But yet you want to tell me about myself. Then you want to try to put talent in front of me. Wake's talent don't give no more about you than what he does anything else. See what I'm saying? Talent has spoken bad about your ass too, but apparently he didn't gave you some money and you forgave him for it, just like a lot of shit that you do on here. Somebody wrote in the chat, your elephant hands. Well, yeah, that's up. That was them hands did look atrocious. And they had food under the nails. She didn't wash, she cross contaminated her fucking food. You know, then she want to get on here and make like that she was so grateful. Yeah, I guess you were grateful that people sent you some goddamn money. People help you buy a meal and you didn't have to use your food stamps. See what I'm saying? You need to be careful, Uppy, about how you treat people on here, especially the elderly, even those older than you, with the lies that you tell and the things that you say to them, because you're in a predicament where one phone call away, uppity, and your ass is through. But do I believe in doing that shit? No. Yeah, she is developmentally delayed, and I have to. I gave her grace. I give her all the grace I can, but I'm not gonna keep using that as a fucking excuse. Good afternoon, Jill Comfort Zone. I'm not going to keep using that as an excuse for somebody that's supposed to be grown, supposed to be taking care of their daughter, supposed to be taking care of their bills, and just crazy. No, I'm not going to call. You know why? You know why? I believe that there's a higher power that's going to call on uppity. I do believe that there's a higher power that's going to call on uppity. Everybody, I'm not gonna. I want to be the bad guy, but I don't want to be the bad guy. But I will talk about her ass. I will let her know you need to do something about your fucking health, uppity. You need to start treating yourself better. instead of getting here on YouTube and drinking and talking shit. There, like I said, I I tried to be decent about the shit and everything else, but when Uppity said the shit that she said yesterday, I said, well, let me go actually see how many people really love Uppity. Yeah, Uppity, you're not as loved as you think you are. You see what I'm saying? You know, like somebody said, they they swore they seen that apron at the Dollar Tree. You know what? That was true. That was true. That apron is at the Dollar Tree. That apron was at the Dollar Tree. And Uppity, you went out there and bought that apron. That's all I can say. You went out and bought that apron when you should have been buying you a goddamn box of gloves to cover up them elephantitis hands and to fix that and prepare that food. But that wouldn't have helped none either, because that probably took the score off. Because if it don't fit, you must have quit. And I doubt if they got gloves that will fit. Uh, another thing came up. What is popcorn? You've been called popcorn belly. Man, come on. Some people were saying, why don't you just take the apron off? Well, you couldn't take the apron off because the outfit that you had on, the little polka dot eeny weeny yellow. You must have thought you of that song, the eeny teeny weeny yellow polka dot bikini. You can't even fit in a goddamn bikini, so I don't even know why I bought that up. But all them goddamn polka dots on you up the, I don't know, dear. I don't know. It looks kind of strange to me. Looks kind of strange. Yeah, it did look like it was a goddamn necklace. It did look like it was a necklace, you know. And I, like I said, I try to be on here, and I give people their props when they're due. But sometimes I've learned that you just have to let the devil know that I don't give a fuck about you, devil. And that's what you are to me right now, Uppity. You're the most despicable young lady here on YouTube, and I I really don't know what else to say except to read your comment section and how people really think about you. You know, yuckity cooking makes me want to throw up. Well, yeah, I understand that one too. I understand that one too about her cooking because when you see her mix her food and all that bullshit, nah, I wouldn't want to eat it. Like I said, I wouldn't feed it. If I had a dog, I wouldn't feed it to my dog. Looking like a pregnant wasp. That was another comment, Uppity. You look like a little wasp. But don't y'all, you can't compare you can't compare Uppity to a wasp because a wasp does have sense enough to fly away. And that's another thing, Uppity. Maybe that's what you need to do. You need to fly away off of here on YouTube for a while. You know, you mess with everybody. You talk about everybody until somebody tries to give you grace. If I'd have came up there and said and lied to you, you would probably love me more than you love yourself. But I'm not gonna lie to you, Uppity, no more. I'm not gonna sit back on my laurels anymore and say you are the best thing that lives on YouTube. Your living life is atrocious. You do not have friends. You do not have friends, Uppity. Like like everybody was saying, you doing everything that, and you wasn't in the kitchen. So I don't even know why they wrote that. You know, you were in the kitchen cooking. That's a damn lie. And then whoever heard, let me show you how dumb this shit is. Now I'll show you how she lied. She can lie so quick. Why would you stick your goddamn phone in the freezer in the first damn place, even if it was hot? Because I know when things are hot, you stick them in the freezer, there's condensation. And that phone would not have probably worked when you brought it back out if you had a stuck it in the freezer. That's what I'm saying. You lie so you can make up a good lie real quick and real fast. So what was the real reason why you stayed off of camera so fucking long? Then you're cross contaminating your food with these boxes, opening them up, trying to show people that fucked up ass steak that you got out of there that was apparently the way you told the story was left down at the bottom of the apartment building for 3 whole fucking days until they bought it up. And is the elevator working now, uppity? And you were too goddamn lazy to walk down the steps to get your food and bring it back up. Oh, I forgot though. You couldn't. It tires you out. Your ass is so high up that you can't walk down the steps. You have to take an elevator. I believe she was in the goddamn living room. I do. I do. I believe she was in the living room. I'm not going to say the steak was spoiled, but I can guarantee you that steak wasn't worth eating or cooking. Well, yeah, it was spoiled. Shit, fuck it. Yeah, it was spoiled. Shit. Then someone wrote that you got a Hobby Lobby kitchen. Hobby Lobby. Oh, brother. In the well, they were talking about it in the background. So that's another thing, uppity. I wasn't coming at your child. I wasn't coming at your child at all. You tried to take it that way and try to make people feel sorry for you. Nyla was cute out there. But like I said, you should have made preparations to where if you can have people come up and watch her for you while you're doing this cooking challenge. Like I said, you don't have any fucking friends, uppity. Nobody wants to babysit for you. Nobody wants to even come to your house and sit around you. That's what I was talking about. Yeah, that George Foreman grill. Yeah, it that's what I'm saying. She can't she can't convince me that she cooks for her family and the family will come over and eat dinner. No, because she hasn't even shown that yet. Because she's too busy getting drunk. And why would you sit up and smoke a motherfucking cigarette while you cooking, uppity? Or did you go use the bathroom and forgot to wash your hands when you came out? Because it looked like I seen a little piece of toilet paper on your finger or somewhere. You're nasty, girl. You're really nasty. Smoke alarm went off. First thing somebody said, the challenge is brought to you by smoke alarm, cigarettes, and a tough undercooked steak. Yep, they had it right. It was undercooked. Definitely undercooked. And to be honest with you, that didn't even look like the same fucking steak you had on the grill. That's why I said you disappeared for so long. You probably did call Uber over to bring you a steak over because it didn't look right, uppity. Nothing you did in that contest would even make me give you a 3, let alone a 5. I would have gave you a 0 across the board. Okay. And then you're trying to signify about me, trying to give you advice as a woman how to conduct yourself, how to be. No, you're a flip flopper too, uppity. Because I've seen you sit up and talk about every fucking body on the YouTube streets. Everybody, including Ness, including Lady Nika, including Jay Dunn. You come from the you know what? I kind of believe that you and Wiley are kinfolks some kind of way. You said you used to be over to Wiley. I can see why. I can see why, uppity, because you're just the same, except you haven't been to a library to tear it up, or you haven't ran down the street naked, which God forbids. If you ever did, they would probably shoot you because they think you was some kind of runaway dinosaur or something. Nails filthy, hair ass all over your head, and then you got that gap. And why in the fuck would you want to open a goddamn bottle of alcohol with your teeth? That's another thing. You call yourself couth, you call yourself a lady. You act like just some of them winos out on the street. You know, you doing you crazy ass shit, uppity. That was some crazy shit on there. But yet everybody loves you. You know. People realize how you are when you on when you're on your drinking binges. You get on here and you cuss people out and you talk shit when you really should be trying to get yourself together. You know, try to figure out what you actually gonna do with your life. Try to figure out what can you do with that little SSI check that you get once a month. Because no man in his right fucking mind is giving you $1,000 a week. It must be that you have a payee, which I can understand that too. But you're not going to get me to believe that you are in complete control of your faculties when all you do is stay up here and rant and rave and try to talk shit. The kind of man you like with a six pack, girl. You got a 19 pack, all that, and it's all running together, all running together. I didn't want to do it to you, uppity, but you asked for it, so I'm letting you know you're less than a woman. I'm not going to talk about you being a mother because then you'll be trying to say I'm coming for your baby. I'm coming for you. You no good, washed up ass, no tooth having, short hair wearing, big floppy ass, foot ass, swollen hands woman sitting up there trying to like you so good. Yeah, you got a tiny waist, all right. It's so tiny you can't even get your goddamn fingers around it, and you talk shit all the time. Up there, I hope in my lifetime I'll be able to see you do better because I do want you to do better because for the sake of your family, if they even fuck with you, uppity, if they even fuck with you. Yeah, yeah, she was doing everything but cooking. Uppity, you were doing everything but cooking. People loved you. Half of this shit uppity, I'm not even reading off of here about what people wrote in the chat about you because you claim you didn't see the chat. You're going to go back and look at the chat and see how you looked, how you performed, how you act. Because really, 45 minutes of that goddamn cook off, your ass was running around like a chicken with his head cut off. You wasn't in no contest, uppity. You was just there trying to be cute, which you're not. You were there trying to be intelligent, which you're definitely not. Your pronunciation of words, they suck to high heaven. And then you get on there and you try to make like that you're so happy. Hell, I'd be happy too if somebody sent me some free money and I didn't have to work for it. Shit. But you do better, uppity. Good evening, dear. I see you. Like I said, uppity, I'm not gonna curse you out too bad, but I am gonna talk about your big ass real bad. And until you get them, I don't know how many teeth are missing, two front teeth, three front teeth, four front teeth in your head. Don't even come to me with that bullshit anymore. Until you get some sense in your mind that everybody doesn't like stupidity, which you get on here and act all the time stupid, nonchalant. You know every fucking thing. You don't know everything, uppity. You didn't even finish high school, did you? Probably not. You're not thinking about taking a trade out for later on in life. You haven't learned any skills. You think that going on Google and looking at people cooking, you're becoming a chef. Like I said, your food was raunchy, your ass was raunchy. Your shit stunk just like that food. It stinks like the food. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna call you a bag of B's and H's. I'm gonna leave that to ZX. That's another thing. You go over there when you went over there with him, thinking you was gonna get this and that. Go back and look up at how people really think about you, and then reevaluate yourself, not the people. You don't try to talk about them. Reevaluate yourself and what the fuck you're doing in life. Okay? And don't worry about me, dear. I'm fine. I'm content. You know, If I wanted to do something, I can get up and do it. I don't have to wait around. I can walk down a flight of steps, you know what I'm saying, without getting out of breath. And I can cook a damn good meal too, Uppity. And no, I wouldn't cook one for you, and I wouldn't do a challenge with you because you don't know how to clean your ass up from top to bottom. So don't fuck with me no more, Uppity. If you see me on a panel, if I'm up there, you bring your ass up here talking shit, I am going to get very disrespectful, okay? I'm not going to be nice with you anymore, Uppity, because you don't deserve it. You do not deserve it, not with me. You and ZX are the couple that needs to be on here YouTube married together because both of y'all are some dumb motherfuckers. And yeah, I mentioned you too, ZX, because I know you listen to me too. And let me tell you something. You need to go after the ones that really have the content on your ass about what you did and do in Philadelphia where you live at. The cop story, I would have been on that more than I would have been on James trying to tell him about himself because you let a young guy way out in California talk about your goddamn past life, getting caught, being arrested. Then you want to try to sue, and you had to end up paying. Tell the truth about yourself, ZX. Like I said, you wanted to be a mama. You always wanted to be somebody's mama instead of their pawpaw. Maybe you ought to go get Uppity and raise her and see how she turns out. So, with that being said, folks, like I said, I don't like downing or talking about women, but I get tired sometimes that a woman think they can come on here and make a man feel like he's low or he hasn't got a goddamn thing. I got everything I need, Uppity. Okay? And like you, Uppity, I'll admit, hey, I got a few subsidies. Yeah, I get food stamps. I'm an old man. I deserve it, you know. But I do pay my rent. My house is my house. I'm in a house, not an apartment where everybody's over your head or living up on 15 floors where I can't walk down a flight of fucking steps. But I'm enjoying my life, Uppity. With that, you do the same, baby. And may God have mercy on them feet of yours and them ankles. Okay? Leave me the fuck alone, Uppity. I'm not bothering you, dear. Leave me the fuck alone. You can't stand criticism? You goddamn it, stay the fuck off of YouTube. Oh, and more thing. Like I said, I listen to a lot of people here on YouTube. And up there, I listen to YouTube, but I don't write in your chat because I know you're going to block me automatically, okay? So with that being said, like I said, Uppity, get some help, baby. You're going to need it.